So there's a clip that's on Twitter right now that's been tweeted out by Wrestle Purist, and it is about Triple H responding and reacting to fans, critics, journalists, whatever the case may be, about the story of Cody Rhodes or just the story in general that is being told and how this has affected the IWC as a whole. It's in shambles. Friends are at each other's necks. We're fighting. Everybody's arguing and fighting. And the whole reason that this is happening is simply because Roman Reigns did not lose that championship. And the question now for a lot of people is, what now? Well, it seems that Triple H has a question. He basically said, in a nutshell, that in this business, the stories never end. But I'll let you hear it for yourself. Hopefully, they won't flag me too much, but here we go.
I will say about that is, it's always interesting to me when people say, how could that happen, or how could they do that in that moment? And it's almost perfectly spelled out in this story. I need to finish the story. In the WWE, the story never finishes.
Okay, so Uncle Trip Chip is basically just saying that stories are usually continuous in WWE, and that's kind of the beauty of WWE. Here's the thing, though. Here's where we are as a collective. Some of us are on the side of Cody should have finished the story at Mania. Others are on the side of Roman is the tribal chief and his historic reign as champion is going to continue. And there's nothing you can do about it because, we the ones and y'all the tools, right? Here's where I stand. I wanted Cody to win that match last night. WrestleMania is not just a regular pay-per-view. If this was Backlash, Money in the Bank, Payback, Fastlane, Vengeance, if this was No Way Out, No Mercy, if this was Capital Punishment, Cyber Sunday, Cyber Tuesday, if this was a regular middle of the month, overly booked pay-per-view, nobody would be bitching. Everybody would just be like, well, it's just Elimination Chamber. It's just war games. It's not the end of the world, right? My biggest issue is that Mania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, these are the big four. These are the ones these are the decision making shows that change the trajectory of every person who wrestles on those shows. These are pivotal moments in the story. And usually WrestleMania is a story ending pay-per-view. So what do you mean the story never finishes? It's not about the story never finishing, Triple H. It's about the building to the story. It's about the way you've booked everybody in this match. Everybody. You booked it like it was a story ending match. You booked it like it was a closer. That's how you booked it. And then you feel like this swerve gave you a little bit more longevity. And it did it. What it did is cause an uproar. And I think that oftentimes you, Vince, and several others back there confuse the animosity and the amount of visceral response that you receive from people as a good thing. All publicity is good publicity, right? Don't get me wrong. Roman Reigns has been the perfect heel champion. Even now in his win over Cody, he did it in the most slimy way that he could, which makes it even fucking worse And we're all just sitting here like, what are we supposed to do now? Where are we going? And while that may seem like a good thing for y'all, because y'all got the world in the palm of your hand, it just makes me wonder, why go through all of this? But I will say this, to leave it to the comment section and let y'all battle it out. I will say a few things. Two things can be right at the same time. Nicole says it all the time, and she's absolutely right. And I love her for it. Roman Reigns was and is the most dominant champion of our era. And that cannot be denied or changed. It is what it is. But it is also time for a restart. While WWE is at a trajectory rise right now, keeping them in this pigeonholed of Roman being at the top of the mountain and nobody being able to beat him. Now I know what some of y'all are gonna say. Y'all gonna say, "Oh, Tiffany, you just don't understand. Triple H is a visionary. He's a genius." And while some of these may be true, I also think that Triple H has a hard time letting go. I critique him heavily because I expect a lot from him. And oftentimes, when people fall short, or what you deem to be falling short, you heavily criticize and critique and go on a tangent. And today, I'm going to try not to do that. I sat back and I thought about it, and I understand it from a business standpoint. From a storyline standpoint, I understand it as well. But at the same time, WrestleMania wouldn't have been the time that I would have done this. I would have had Cody go up against Roman at Elimination Chamber. Let that be the one that, calms the storm. And then I would have had him go over at Mania. It just was not set up to be what it should have been. And because of the way it was built, it just doesn't feel or look right. Now, given the fact that Roman's been the guy for 3 years and some change, WWE has seen a significant improvement, or more specifically, overall, they have been at the pinnacle of wrestling's entertainment. However, on a weekly basis, every week on television, everything else is lacking, but Roman Reigns' storyline is set in stone. And that's a problem for me. It makes me feel like you guys can't handle the job unless it has to do with this overall storyline of this dominant faction. And that's a problem. Your women's division is lacking. You have a non existent tag team division. You just lost a tag team in GYV. You have an issue with booking when it comes to certain superstars, how your titles are booked outside of the WWE Undisputed Championships. And of course, your only other title that's booked correctly is the women's titles, the main women's titles, and the Intercontinental Championship. Every other title has fallen short. The women's tag team titles, abysmal booking. The men's tag team titles have been tied up with the Usos for months, years. And then you have the the United States Championship. I'm sorry, but Austin Theory just isn't doing the job for me in my eyes. So when you're talking about finishing, well, the stories never finish in WWE, I understand what he's saying. It's like, yes, a story can have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but stories can always be revised, changed, and shifted, which I agree with. But in this case, I think that shift was a bad idea. I think also, in terms of business, if you never take risks and you always rest on your laurels, you will never fly, you will never get bigger, and you'll always be pigeonholed into this little area. You guys knew Roman was going to be the guy the moment he set foot in your company, but you didn't know about the guys like Seth Rollins or when Dean Ambrose was there, aka John Moxley. You didn't know, and whether you love him or hate him, CM Punk was a guy. You know, he was one of those guys that got over that they didn't think would get over. Daniel Bryan's another one. And then when you go to the women, you've got Becky Lynch. She's one of the biggest stars in that company. You didn't have any faith in Becky Lynch, not any whatsoever. And it, the list can go on of people who have been built up into megastars from the E that really didn't have the trajectory that people thought. When John Cena first got there, he almost got fired. You know, he was almost let go and never becoming the John Cena that we know and love today. There are a lot of people like Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E, three megastars that WWE did not put the machine behind until all was proven. So while yes, we know Roman Reigns is the guy and he can give us great quality feuds in terms of promo skill and he can work a match very well. We're well aware of that. The only way you're going to be able to solidify WWE's longevity is to be able to book your talent so that they have the ability to succeed, especially those who are trying. And then you had somebody like Cody who came in and had a whirlwind of a trajectory into the WWE. I don't think he should have been right off the bat pushed to the top of the mountain. But the way that you guys booked him led the world to believe that you were going to give him those titles at the end. And while, yes, you swerved us, it caused so much emotion and turmoil. At the end of the day, people are going to believe what they want. And what I hope for is that even though the saga continues, as you put it, I hope that this was worth the continuation. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Y'all make sure you comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think Triple H is right? The stories never really end in WWE and that this was just a chapter, not the end of the book. Which I'm fine with the chapter 2, but I'd rather that chapter 2 start with a new champion than continue on with Roman Reigns. 3 years is a long time for a man to be at the top of the mountain, and with nobody being able to take him down, it would seem we're not going to go into that. You let me know in the comment section what you think or how you feel about Cody losing. Let me know what you think about Roman retaining and how long do you think Roman's going to keep this belt? Do you think he's going to keep it past Money in the Bank? Or you think he's going to keep it until SummerSlam? SummerSlam is technically his anniversary. That's the time frame that he actually won the title. So I would imagine SummerSlam would be when he loses it. But I also imagine that he would lose it yesterday, and he didn't. So what the hell do I know? You guys make sure that you guys follow me on my socials at Psych Design TV too. I'm on TikTok as well, posting content over there, trying to get the content posted over there. And I'm also on Instagram with the commentary. Be sure to follow me here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I go live and we do a freestyle Wednesday on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We talk about WWE. On occasion, AEW conversation will happen, but most of the time, we're strictly WWE unless something crazy happens. With all that being said, if you want to hear about the sale from WWE going to Endeavor, a media company or a media conglomerate that is currently the owner of WME, IMG, and of course, UFC, then go to my next video, which should be suggested, and you guys can go ahead and listen to my thoughts on the sale and where you can hear more info about the sale. With all that being said, thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It truly helps my channel, whether it's a rating up or down. It's totally up to you. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Also, really quickly, I hear that Triple H is supposed to be having a major announcement tonight on Monday Night Raw. Don't really know what that announcement could be. Hope he doesn't get booed when he comes out there. I'll see you guys tonight.